I have something so incredibly exciting to show you. Let's go. In a recent video, I showed you where we put our raised birdie garden beds together, we filled them with soil, and then I finally got the opportunity to put some seeds in there. Now I want to show you something magical and magnificent. Let's take a look. So yesterday I was out here, I was watering the babies, and wouldn't you know, we have growth. Yes, our broccoli rabe is coming up already. Look at these beautiful little petals coming up. My excitement is on overload. This entire process to me is incredibly magical. It's so beautiful to know that already I am seeing some progress and that things are starting to grow just ones of days in is so super exciting. So the next thing I found was our kale, and I can clearly see everywhere that I made the holes, planted the seeds, and now they're coming up. So the kale also just these little buds, but oh my gosh, they are so beautiful. My excitement, seriously, on overload. I just don't have enough words. Let's take a look at the other bed. In the first bed we put together, I found the next gem, and that is the lettuce. So the lettuce is growing in all of the 6 little spots where I planted it. They're so tiny, so beautiful and vibrant green. And oh my God, my love, my passion, my excitement through the roof. So my next little surprise is this one teeny tiny zucchini. I hope that the rest of her little friends are going to come up and bloom and do all the beautiful things. But for right now, just to see the progress is just mind-blowing. I'm so excited. I did not know what to expect. Obviously, like, I have hopes and dreams that everything is going to produce beautifully and be incredibly successful, but to see things already coming up and becoming something, like it went from this tiny little seed to this greenery, is just beyond words. So if you have experience with gardening and plants and all the things, this might be incredibly minimal and trivial to you, but it is the world to me. And I am so excited to share all of this with you. Next up is our OG garden bed, and my apologies for squinting, but that sun is right in my eyes. So in any event, this is our OG bed, the one that had thyme in it last season, and it was just like half filled with soil, half filled with leaves. Like, it was kind of a mess. So we got 2 rosemary plants, we got 3 thyme plants, and 1 oregano. So I topped her off with some new soil and I planted these plants, and they are looking so beautiful, so green. I have already been able to harvest some of these herbs for cooking, and the magic, like when I tell you, that feeling is just so magnificent. To need something, come outside, like into the yard and get it, and go right back into the kitchen to finish whatever it is that I'm cooking is just mwah, chef's kiss and magical universe. So let's move on to my to-do list. I have some gardening chores that I want to get done today, some plants that I want to get potted up, and I'm gonna bring you along, so let's go. So I'm starting by repotting my little Meyer lemon bushes. I have 4 of these guys, and let me tell you that they have been so severely neglected. So I bought these guys last year. They have just been hanging out in their little nursery pots. They have been through all the elements outside, and it's just been a mess. I have not had the time to dedicate to them, just like the rest of the plants. So that changes today. Today I am repotting all 4 of these guys. I have a pot that's a little larger for them so they have the room to grow. So originally my plan was to put these guys in the ground back here in the backyard where the orange tree is, but ultimately we decided that we eventually want to extend the patio out or do some kind of something, so we're just going to do pots for the time being. So I'm doing soil, some compost, some citrus fertilizer, and planting these guys up. And that is going to be the plan. I'm going to go through all 4 and make sure that they are happy. So because they sustained a frost and all kinds of things, I did cut them way back. And let me tell you that I was beyond scared to do that. However, it turns out that these guys are incredibly resilient. They're already starting to sprout some new little greenery, and oh my gosh, I could not be happier because I really thought that it was incredibly possible that I committed 4 murders, but I don't think that is the case. So I'm gonna keep going. I am going to keep repotting these guys, and I just feel so good to finally be taking care of them. I feel horrible that I neglected them for as long as I did, but again, that changes today. Next up, I am showing my orange tree some love. So I am cutting off suckers, which are little stem growths on the main branches of the tree. So I want to cut those off so the tree is pushing all of her energy into fruiting instead of these like little baby growths, because nobody needs that. So next up, I'm at our OG flower bed. So here what I'm doing is just adding a combination of soil and compost. And the reason I'm doing that is because I noticed that over the last week or so since I planted this up, the soil has settled and it has dropped a little bit lower than the level of the plants where I potted them. So I am just filling this up a little more, adding that compost and giving these guys some extra nutrients. And oh, look how pretty they look. Look how pretty. My next chore is to put a little bit of fencing up around the birdie beds. So I got this fencing, I think it was last year at Home Depot, and I put this up around the plants because my beautiful lab, he likes to stick his face in there. As you saw in the last video, he likes to eat the soil and the fertilizer and all the stuff, and that is just not healthy. It's not safe. So I have to do this as a deterrent, and it works until he decides to step over it. So fingers crossed that we don't have that issue. So next up on my list is to get the lemon trees and the new raspberries all watered. So these plants right here, the raspberries, I did intend to repot them today, but I don't actually have enough pots. So that is a project for another day. And this is our progress. We did well today. We repotted the 4 lemons and we put our little fencing up. We got soil in the OG bed. Everyone is looking good. Everyone is looking happy. Our beautiful orange tree, oh my God, she smells so insanely delicious. It's crazy. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, but she is smelling like spring. But everything is looking so good. I am so happy with the progress that we have some things growing in the little birdie beds, that I finally got to take care of these Meyer lemon bushes because oh my gosh. So next up, definitely the raspberries, and I cannot wait. I can't wait. I seriously want to plant all the things. I want to grow all the things. I want to eat all the things. I am just so excited. So I did put some fencing up around these pots because, you know, my beautiful Labrador. What else can I say? I mega love you. Thank you so much for hanging with me. I really hope that you're enjoying this gardening content and coming along with me as I learn all this stuff. See you next time.